Time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you. Welcome back to the pod. This is actually my second podcast of today, believe it or not. I just got done doing a couple rounds in the sauna with the boys. It's kind of an overwhelming day. Honestly, didn't do that much, which left a lot of room for thinking and reflection. I've had a lot of ideas bouncing around in my mind, and I figure the sooner I can take the ideas that are floating and bring it to the podcast, pick up the mic, and just speak the ideas, the better off the ideas will be. So I wanted to talk about a handful of things that I've just been not necessarily struggling with, but definitely wrestling with in my pursuit of making an impact. I would say at the foundation of everything I do, especially outwardly on social media and all of that good stuff, the goal is impact. I have really big goals. I want to be an example for people. I want someone to have a real individual they can look to and say, wow, that is somebody that is honest. That's someone that is fully themselves. That's somebody that doesn't need to pander to other people's weaknesses or opinions just to be successful. That's a true individual. And I'll tell you what, that's hard to do. It is very hard to do that in today's world of cheap indulgences, instant gratification, short form content, ultra polarizing communication. I mean, it's really tough to be genuine. And on the way to where I am today, there has been countless, not even moments, but years of struggling, right, with the misunderstanding and trying to communicate in an honest way, be myself, but also be quote unquote successful in today's world. There's a couple different categories that this really is kind of evident in my life, social media being a really big part of that. And just in general, kind of doing the right thing. I think when you're on the path of trying to do the right thing or trying to be the best person you possibly can, you're actually not going to have a very supportive environment in almost every case this world can throw at you. I think it's very rare that someone just has the perfect family, the perfect friend group that can just reinforce the honest characteristics they want to uphold in their life. I'd say it's a lot more reasonable that people have a harsh contrast to what they want to be around them. So just wanted to talk through some things. I don't expect this to be super organized. I don't expect it to be perfect. This is a lot of me almost talking to myself in a sense, because I try to be super refined in my communication. I try and bring value as much as I possibly can, but I need to hear plenty of the things that I say myself. I want to be as real as I possibly can be with you guys, kind of take you along, all the things, again, that I'm wrestling with, struggling with, succeeding in, so you can take away as much of that as possible and apply it to your own life. So this pocket of social media, I cannot even tell you how frustrating it is to try and take my thinking, which very much happens in the long form, and then communicate that in short form, because God, nearly anything I could possibly say on an Instagram post in 1 minute is going to get misunderstood. I feel like it's almost impossible for it to be fully understood, because what an Instagram post is going to lack across the board is nuance. And when I post something on Instagram, I don't want to just post something just because I want it to be valuable or I want it to be entertaining. I'm typically trying to more so make it valuable. So if I'm going to really make it valuable, I try and say things in a way that might challenge someone's idea, spark a new perspective for them, give them a new, way of living to work from, just something different. Because people hear the same thing a million times over and over again, and it doesn't work. Right? And so I really try to brings something valuable. And if I'm going to do that, it's not just going to be the run-of-the-mill, ultra cliche, you've already heard this kind of statement that's just going to fit into a perfect little 30-second snippet, the Hallmark card statement that everybody already knows. I can't do that. And so everything I'm going to say, it's going to be misunderstood. And that's frustrating because, I don't want people to follow me and just get angry, but a lot of people get really angry. It's funny, I posted a clip from this podcast that has gotten nothing but positive engagement, positive interaction, which I'm super thankful for. But I posted a clip from it talking about being a perfectionist, right? And how a lot of people demonize that trait of really wanting to be good at something and the overthinking and all those things. It can absolutely be out of hand. In my life, it has been out of hand for plenty of years. But I think where people go wrong is just demonizing these traits, and then the people who have those traits just feel bad about themselves instead of recognizing that, hey, my high processing power is a superpower. I just have to apply it in the right way. So I put a little snippet of me saying, man, I almost glorify perfectionism. And then people go in there seeking to misunderstand. That is what frustrates me so much, because anything I say, you could listen to it and say, oh, yeah, I see exactly what he's getting at. Yeah, you could be a perfectionist, and as long as you can manage the emotions around that, it's actually a pretty good thing. But people very often seek to misunderstand, and I think it's maybe because I'm perceived as kind of polarizing, because my short form content doesn't really display who I am well enough, I think, and that's something I'm really trying to work on. So I think people think it's kind of a ultra robotic, super disciplined, stay hard, David Goggins kind of guy that's then speaking on different, topics of human interaction or culture or mindset. And that's really not the truth, but people get very inflamed by what I say. And sure, that's part of my communication. I'm really sarcastic, and I kind of find that fun because it's almost another tier of finding understanding in people when the barrier is a little bit higher, if that makes sense. But again, I'm kind of rambling here. People seek to misunderstand. And for me, right, I get a ton of hate, and that's fine, right? That's not going to destroy my self-esteem. It's not going to make me over-question myself. Sure, I take things into consideration, but I'm not going to go, oh, I'm a bad person because I'm getting people misunderstanding me. What it kind of creates in my mind is more of a lack of faith in humanity, not to be over-dramatic, but to see so many people seek to misunderstand so consistently, it gets really, really frustrating. And of course, I flip that and go, look, I am in love with the podcast, the YouTube videos, all the long form stuff, because that matches the way that I actually think. But man, the short form content is so crazy. And so to succeed doing short form content, and succeed is stated with an asterisk, a big asterisk next to it. Also, side note, it's asterisk. If you say asterisks, I'm going to make fun of you. And then I'm going to ask to see your asterisks. No, but with a big asterisk next to it, I say succeed. Because views, likes, engagement, all that sort of stuff, that does not always look the same, I will say. Some of my best performing videos have the worst response and the most people hating on it, which is really interesting. I think if you ask any bigger creator, they're going to say the same. But to succeed in short form, there's a few things you have to do. You have to steal people's attention away. You have to condense ideas down into really small bite-sized pieces. You have to often share videos that kind of pander to people's comfort zones, because that's what most people are on social media for. Of course, I'm bad at all these things. I did not get a big audience on social media because I'm a good creator, a good content creator. I blew up because of a video that just blew the roof off of Instagram. And so I'm not actually good at short form at all. And I'm not just saying that to fish for compliments, say, oh no, you're good, you're great. Genuinely speaking, in a strategic, tactical manner, I am bad at short form content. And it's frustrating because that's a big gear in the system of what I do. It's a big part of me trying to make impact, but it's hard to try and be ultra strategic when it's almost a moral conflict in a lot of ways, right? It's not like I'm going on Instagram trying to just blast views and engagement just for the heck of it. The only reason I want to see a ton of views is if I'm sharing something I think would be impactful if it got a lot of views, right? And so the struggle here is that, if you start doing content and you go into that with good intent, a million people are going to be doing way better than you with almost no morals. The morals don't matter. That's not even what this culture revolves around at all. Right? So to be able to stay the course and stick to doing the right thing and being the honest individual, you have to have the craziest emotional endurance ever. And that's what I've dealt with for a long time. Being in middle school and high school and never drinking, never indulging in any of the bullshit that everyone was up to, never going to the parties because I saw through the bullshit, and it's not like it's so easy to just, I know that this is dumb, so I'm not going to participate. That's everybody around you. You know what I mean? That's your environment. That's your world. And it's the same exact thing here. Right? You see so many people taking shortcuts, just trying to inflate their engagement and quote unquote succeed on social media or making a bunch of money. And I know that that's an empty pursuit, but I also know that if I was able to engage more people, then I could make more real impact. And again, that's another huge goal of mine. This is just one of the most present ideas I've always had to struggle with, because you're always going to have that. You will always have the majority contrasting you, and for a long ass time probably doing better than you because of it. I could go on my Instagram right now and see plenty of people that just have all the love in the world for being a bad example. And that's a pit in my stomach, right? And when you are on that path of trying to do the right thing, you're going to feel like you're in the trenches, right? If you're in school, and again, you're not doing the drinking and partying and hooking up with people and doing the whole thing, I know what that feels like. And if you're in that position right now, please understand that there is somebody that knows what you are going through. Because that is the biggest pain, not just pain in the ass, pain in the soul. And it lasts a long time. And I wish the world wasn't that way. You know what I mean? I wish everybody saw through to real value and said, man, people that are honest and have real character and are doing the right thing, that's who should succeed. No, it's the people that take shortcuts and bullshit their way to an outcome. That's what people are attracted. You can go out and rent a Lamborghini for a day, and then you can just make Instagram videos about how you're balling out of control, and then you sell a course on making money. Making money is a cheatable thing. You can cheat your way to that, undeniably. Right? And this is the tip of the spear for what people see as success. But when you're a real individual, you have to dig deep. Actually dig deep, because it is so hard to keep going when that's the case, right? I'm the kind of person, when I see that there's a deficit in my ability to achieve something, right? I look at this social media example, I go, why am I not able to communicate things as well as I want to? And then I want to wake up tomorrow. It's 8:48. We're nearing bedtime, by the way. But I want to wake up tomorrow. I want to make 100 videos and post all of them. Right? I want to do every single thing in the world. And sometimes there's not always something to be done. Right? A lot of the times it is the ability to stay. Just stay. To sit, think, breathe, zoom out, recognize that things aren't so bad, slow down a little bit. Right? And maybe it looks like I'm looking at you, talking to you, but I might as well be talking into a mirror, because that's the reminder that I need as well in these moments. Right, it's Sunday. This is podcasts and laundry day. Now it's 2 podcasts and laundry day and a lot of recovering. It's been a crazy week of working out and taking my body to the freaking end. You know what I mean? Just crushing it at the gym and jiu-jitsu and running and swimming and all that kind of stuff. And there's been a lot of space to think and reflect and get frustrated and get inspired and get some clarity and have my ideas be clouded. All happens in a day. Sometimes it all happens within an hour. And it's the ability to stay and go to that meditative state and continue trying one more day. It is so difficult. Again, if you're that person, and it's hard to nail down what exactly this archetype might be, but there's about 1 trillion different examples of a person that's trying to do the right thing. I can't specify exactly what that is, but if you're listening to me right now and you feel that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Trying to stick to that path, trying to do the right thing, trying to be honest, trying to be a real individual, and the whole world around you wants to contrast that. I want to give you and myself a major, major reminder to stay the course, because it has to pay off. You know what I mean? Especially if you're in the same age range-ish as myself. I'm 24. I mean, you are going to be bombarded with the absolute epitome of people trying to be a freaking celebrity, trying to get all the attention, trying to get all the money, trying to win people over. And it's the cheapest pursuit ever. And I'm not saying you got to be a monk, you know what I mean? But there is something so real to, again, staying the course and being able to see 10 years in advance. I talk a lot about being present, but I think presentness pays forward gratitude to your future self. And when you're able to do that, it works so much better. And the more you act in your own best interest and your future self's interest, you actually see that come true. When I was in high school, I was living very similarly to how I do now, especially just the discipline, the routine, the mindset, and that kind of thing. 17, 18 at the time, I had literally nothing to show for it. Nothing. I was no better than the dude smoking weed in the bathroom. And that hurts really bad, because you try so hard and then you go, what was it even for? Right? And then fast forward 6, 7, 8-ish years, or I'm not 26 or 25, so 6 years, 7 years, I think. Fast forward all that time, and I go, oh, wow. Life is a lot different for me than most of those same people I was in school with. And mind you, I have a lot more to show for it than the kid smoking weed in the bathroom at school, probably. In my case, at least. Maybe there's an ultra successful bathroom weed smoker. But in my case, I can definitely see why it paid off. And now it's another version of that. Just that harsh contrast of people around you trying to fast forward their way to success. They're only going to show you what they want you to see, so it looks like they've got it. And you have to trust that the right thing is the right thing. And I get in these moments of reflection, and sometimes it feels so overwhelming, because when you've spent so long working on yourself, you want to indulge in that a little bit. And then you realize, as soon as you get to what you think is the top of a mountain, you look across and you see another one that's 10 times higher, and there's something inspiring to that. There's something gratifying to that, and it's exciting, because I've come a long way and I'm at square one. It's a new square one, but it's square one nonetheless. And I'm excited about that. Starting this podcast, really going hard with the YouTube, trying to build a real audience on content and information that I'm super proud of, that more fully encapsulates who I actually am, being able to really increase my skill set of communication, because I always talk about that as a huge basis of having confidence in yourself. And so it's exciting. I have to believe that doing the right thing, trying to be the best person I possibly can, being honest, taking heat for that honesty, trying my best to make an impact, I have to believe that that's going to work out. That's going to pay off. And I really want to encourage you to believe in the same. As hard as it is, you will see these examples of people doing quote unquote better than you because they've got the quick outcomes. Please don't fall for it. Please. I feel so strongly about this. I've been telling myself this for such a long time. Don't take the shortcuts. Please be genuine. Don't try and win someone over with bullshit. Take the longer route. If it's going to take me 10 years longer than the next person to find success, then I'm cool with that, because my definition of success is something very different from the mainstream. And again, I would really encourage you to adopt that same definition of success. It's the fulfillment. It's being able to put your head on the pillow at night and say, I'm the kind of person I want to be. Because unfortunately, a lot of the people that are shortcutting their way to attention and disingenuous relationships and money and this perceived social media success, that's going to be a hard pillow to lay down on in about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And all the decisions you make right now funnel into your self-worth and your self-image in those later years. Nobody's immune to regret if they're making decisions that are going to make them regretful. Right? So please give yourself the opportunity of focusing in, retaining the modesty of your decisions, trying to do the right thing, being the best version of yourself. And I'm going to remember it too. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this late night, quote unquote, late night rant for me. Lots of things to think about. My mind is kind of spiraling all over the place because when it comes down to it, this is my life. These ideas are really what I care about. Helping people is really what I care about. Again, it's a huge goal for me to be as honest, transparent, and clear with you guys as I possibly can, because sure, it helps to bring value and try and be a quote-unquote authority figure in being fulfilled and motivated and disciplined and all these great things. But I think even more than that, you could learn something from knowing where my mind is actually at in regards to myself and my own goals in my own life. And I hope that you found something valuable. I hope that you can take something away from this episode and apply it to your own life. If you are needing extra guidance, you want extra help, I offer a couple of different things that can truly take your life to the next level. Not in this bullshit success realm, but being clear, right? Having a real sense of self, being fulfilled, building the self-awareness, building a routine and lifestyle that reinforces those things. I offer mentorship and a community based around these real concepts. So if any of those things are of interest to you, you can learn more about those at the links in the description of this video. I have some other things that I always say at the end of this thing, but if you're watching on YouTube, comment, subscribe, leave a like, all of that good stuff. I'm going to keep putting out these episodes, and I hope that you really enjoy them. If you're listening or watching on Spotify, leave a 5-star. I guess it's not a review. Leave 5 stars on the episode, and you can comment on Spotify as well. So definitely want to hear from you wherever you are listening or watching. The last reminder, which is a part of every episode, is the no phone dinner. If you're watching me or listening to me in any capacity when you eat dinner tonight, or if you're eating dinner right now, tomorrow when you eat dinner, should be a no phone dinner. Gives you an opportunity to spend real time being present with yourself, no distractions. Maybe it's with your family or your friends or just you. All of those are a great option, but taking the phone out of the equation is a great way to get a little bit more clarity and a little bit more presentness in your day, which is a huge benefit. So with that said, really, really appreciate you for listening. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever the heck you are in your 24 hours. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks for listening. Peace out.
Hello.
I just recorded another podcast.
Another one?
Yeah.
How come?
I was just reflecting on a lot today and frustrated. So I hit the sauna with Brennan and Owen, and then I was just kind of going, damn, dude, I've got a lot to think about.